You know, there's a hidden language being spoken all around us. It's not taught in schools. It happens in the corridors of power, in quiet negotiations, in every social circle. It's the language of Machiavellian strategy. And today, we're going to decode it. Learning the rules is the first step to playing the game.
So let me ask you, straight up, do you speak this language? Because you have to understand, people with real power don't see the world the way most people do. They see a web of alliances, of favors, of unspoken debts. It's not just a different perspective, it's an entirely different reality. And this really gets to the heart of it. What you might see as a simple friendship, they see as leverage. To operate in their world, you have to accept that no connection is ever neutral. Every single interaction is either moving you up or pushing you down. There's no standing still.
Okay, so let's dive into part one, the unspoken rules of power. We need to understand the invisible hierarchy that's always at play. Think of it like a radio frequency. Most people are just tuned to the regular broadcast. But power? Well, power operates on a completely different band. And if you can't tune in, you can't hear a thing.
This lays it out perfectly. On one side, you have the common view, right? Connections are about friendship, admiration, things you earn through hard work. But the power view? Totally different. It's all leverage, alliances, and a running tally of unspoken debts. In this world, everything boils down to one simple question. Are you useful?
And this is absolutely critical. The moment you show up seeming needy, you've already lost. Your status just plummets. Why? Because powerful people are surrounded by takers, by beggars. Your goal is to be the opposite. You don't show up with a problem, you show up as the answer to one of theirs.
But how do you become that answer? Well, it's not about rushing in and trying to impress. First, you have to completely shift your mindset. And that brings us to part two, observation before action.
You know, the biggest mistake people make is they talk too much, too soon. Your first move is silence. Your job isn't to perform, it's to diagnose. You have to watch, study the players, the environment. Everyone, no matter how powerful, has motivations they try to hide, their real desires, their fears. Your job is to find them.
And this brings us to the only currency that has any value in this game, usefulness. Now notice, this has nothing to do with being a good person, or being liked, or being virtuous. It is purely about being able to solve a problem for someone else. You become a necessary piece of their machine. And this just puts it so bluntly. You can be the most admirable, hardworking person in the room, but if you're irrelevant to their goals, you are functionally invisible. But if you are useful, even if you're still invisible for now, you have a foothold. You are officially in the game. Okay, so you've done the work. You've watched. You've diagnosed. You know the terrain. Now you're ready to make your move. This brings us to part three, mastering the first impression and the art of influence.
So what are the basic tactics? Well, first, you mirror their world. You don't copy them, you harmonize with them. You match their pace, their values. Second, you maintain a little mystery. Never show all your cards at once. It creates demand. Third, you seem humble, you hide your ambition, but when it's time to act, you are fierce. And finally, you carry yourself as if you already belong. That quiet confidence is incredibly powerful.
Now let's talk about flattery. Empty praise is worthless. They hear it all day. Strategic praise is different. It's not about saying, wow, you're so brilliant. It's about saying, the way you timed that decision was masterful. See, you're praising a specific skill, showing you actually understand how they operate. You're reinforcing the exact image they have of themselves.
And here's the crucial balancing act. You have to seem patient, almost unconcerned with climbing the ladder. It puts people at ease. But the second an opportunity appears, you strike with a speed and decisiveness that's almost shocking. It's that combination, that controlled restraint, followed by ruthless action, that they instantly recognize and respect.
But look, all these tactics, they're just the opening moves. This whole thing isn't about one quick win. It's about longevity. Which leads us to part four, playing the long game and building a silent empire of influence.
And at this stage, you have a choice to make. Are you a performer or an architect? Performers are always chasing the spotlight, seeking attention. They're valuable, but they burn out. Architects, on the other hand, they build the stage that everyone else performs on. They influence things from behind the scenes without needing the credit. That is long-term wealth.
So, how does an architect operate? Well, they build alliances sideways with the assistants, the advisors, the people who hold the true unseen power. They also turn gratitude into a weapon, repaying favors not right away, but at the moment of maximum strategic impact. They master the art of the quiet no, which signals a backbone and earns respect. And finally, they control their visibility. After a big success, they retreat from the spotlight, becoming a little bit of a myth instead of just another familiar face.
You have to remember, this is a cold game. The higher you go, the colder and thinner the air gets. Things like warmth and affection, they start to become liabilities. The only thing that truly endures, the only thing that will keep you from falling, is your unwavering utility. And that takes us to our final part, the highest level of this game, the Master's Paradox. This isn't about climbing anymore. This is about what you do once you're already there, at that final, unseen summit.
See, at the very top, pure logic takes a backseat to emotional politics. And the ultimate power here is emotional supremacy. It's when someone tries to provoke you to get under your skin, and you just respond with calm stillness. It's terrifying to them. It shows you're unshakable, that you can't be emotionally manipulated. That's when you graduate from being a guest to a true contender.
And the rules of mastery are kind of strange. They're paradoxical. You offer controlled usefulness. You're valuable, but never so essential that you become a threat to be removed. You disarm the envy of others by attributing your successes to luck or good mentors. You use silence strategically, letting your absence make people miss you. And you maintain this perfect psychological distance, close enough to be trusted, but far enough that no one ever feels like they fully know you. And that's really the great secret to all of this. The real game isn't won in the big board meetings or on grand stages. It's won in the hallways. It's built on whispers, on knowing glances, on all the tiny moments that everyone else just overlooks. It's about 1,000 small moves, compounded over time.
And here it is, the final, completely counterintuitive lesson. True mastery isn't about clinging to the top of the mountain. It's about knowing the perfect moment to walk away, right at your absolute peak. That's how you preserve your power. That's how you become a legend.
So in the end, you see, it was never just about the climb. It's about the transformation. It's about perception. Every interaction, every strategic move sharpens you, changes you. So the final question isn't about how high you can go, it's about who you are becoming in the process.